Hello guys, welcome back to Galileo Dev, and today is the day we are going to build this portfolio website that we overviewed in the previous tutorial. So today we're going to put this into action. Okay, let me just walk you through the website so that you can have an overview of how it's going to be looking like, as well as see how it's going to be performing on both mobile screen and desktop screen. So let's just jump right into it. Okay, after the message you sent, you'll find this touch message appearing at the bottom of your screen. Yes, so on the mobile screen, this is how it's going to be looking like. You will have this bottom navigation where you can navigate through the whole landing page instead of scrolling down. So home page for the home, user for the about me page or component, and briefcase for the project, the book for the skills, and the SMS for the contacts component where you can contact the developer who is you, the guy who's going to be building this project right now. So without wasting much of your time, let's just start the build. Okay, let's go on the Nextjs website and see how you can install or create a Nextjs app, which is quite simple. Click on docs. Okay, this is the only statement that we need. Okay, let's first of all create a Nextjs app. So let's give it a name of my YouTube. So sorry, this YouTube portfolio. So you give it some time so it can install, and then let's go on the website of Tailwindcss to see what the details are needed so that we can install a new. We can like configure the file so that this app can work perfectly with Tailwindcss for styling. As seen on the Tailwindcss website, the next step is running the two of these commands right over here. So I'm gonna copy them and go back into my terminal so I can paste and validate so that we can start downloading them. We're gonna give it a second so that it can get done installing, so that we can go for the next command and then keep up with the build of today. As you can see, now we are back in our code editor. So what are we going to do next? Let's try opening this up in our browser and see how it's going to be looking like. npm run dev, as this is a Nextjs app. Okay, let's go on our browser and check if the app is opening. Since like we might have to give it a little bit of time so that it loads all the dependencies and display, because it's now loading. Okay, here is our h1 galleon. Here I think it's clear, so let's go for the next step, which is installing the other dependencies that I'm gonna show you. So in our text editor, as you can notice, we have this file on the bottom which contains the different packages that we need to install for this app to be up and running properly. So let's go for all of them and then come back when everything is already installed. So to install them, each and every one, you'll be running npm and then the name as it is right over here and install them. So I'm gonna speed up these and then come back. I'll show you. I'll just go in away package.json file and show you that the things are already installed. Okay, mm, I'm gonna stop running the app and then go for them. So for now, I'm gonna work on the hero component. So he has to look like this. So let's just jump and see what we can do. Okay, back in our text editor, what are we going to do is going in our hero page. What is it? Right there. Okay, we have this main div, and again we'll have another div, and then we'll have another div, and again we will have the final div, which has the two buttons. I think. Okay, so this one will have a span of hello there. Yeah, hello there. And these other ones will be some H1s. And then the first one will hold my name is Guardian Dev. I am Guardian Dev. And the second one will hold it like the given thing that I do. Like for me, I'm a web developer. So it's like hello there, I am Guardian, a web developer then. So we'll have to have an href, an anchor tag, which will be targeting nothing for now, and it will have the phrase, the name of download CV, and the other one will have about. We'll deal with them after. So we just have to go on the first one, which is the div that is composed of the image and some other social media icons. So on this one we'll just have the image. Let me separate them a little bit to see the difference. Okay, the image, after having the image, we'll have the div that's hold all the social media links and icons. So on this one we'll have to have a link. Okay, this link I think is imported from Nextjs. It's a Nextjs link. It has usually have an href, which is the URL, but for now we have nothing to put there. You can put there your social media, but for me I'll just leave it empty, but for you can put anything you want. So I'll have it there, and inside of it I'll have to have an icon. What kind of icon do I need to have? I know for this app we need some icons, and the icons are LinkedIn, Twitter, and GitHub. So I'm gonna put the three of them and then explain everything after. So back in our code editor and work on them. The first one, let's say we need a React icon. So I'm gonna show you how I can get one, and then I'll speed up the process because you already have the knowledge, the strategy to get one icon on your website. So this is how it's going to be going. Go on the website, go open up a browser, and then on a new tab you can just search for React icons. Once it opens up, you need to install first of all the package as installing, so you can look for the given icon you need, like LinkedIn. So I'm gonna use this one. So to use it, it's not something that you can just do from heaven. You just have to import it. So how are you gonna import it? It's just using this import statement, then the given icon that you've imported and from which library. For us, we'll be importing this from, this is imported, this FA beer is imported from the font awesome library. So for us, we are going to change using our needed icon. So let's go back now, text editor, and change. We need this, and we need that. So this will be imported from there. Let me go grab the link in question and change everything in my app. So right there, but I'll change the beer, FA beer, by the FA, which is font awesome, then LinkedIn icon, and I will never find an error. So for the next 3, I'll just speed up the process and then I'll come back to you. Okay, I think the 3 icons needed are already imported from the React icons library. So now what else are we going to do? Let's first of all take a look now, we're browsing and see what we're working on right now. Okay, we have the 3 icons. We have the text, and we have the 2 buttons, and these other things are just the other components we all know about portfolio, skills, and contact me, right? So I'm gonna use the image that we have here. So grabbing them from this website, which is already online, which I'm suggesting you to go check before you even start this video. So let me go back and show you the exact look of it. So we'll go back in our text editor real quick. For the image, put my name. Get back on our browser. Refresh. This is how it's going to be. So let's go install it, because this is actually what we need for the home. For the home components, like the hero components right here. Okay, let's now start everything. We'll go back in our text editor and make changes. So the first thing we're gonna do is giving this a width. So the width will be given to the div container, which is max width of 7XL, and then padding bottom of 0, because we want this to be separate from nothing on the bottom. We don't give any space on the bottom. And then we'll have the flex. We'll have it display flex and flex column. And then what else are we gonna need is like giving and padding on all axes, padding of 5. And we are going to also need to give it a default text color and a default font, I think. Yeah. So text color will be gray, and I think the one we are working with is 300, which is the one on the default version. And then what else are we gonna need is like we need a font. So I'm gonna use a Google font, so we're gonna jump on that right after. But for now, let's give it a max. Margin X, margin auto X, margin auto on margin X, margin on the X y axis of auto is the value. So MX, we'll give it auto to center everything. And then when we go back on our browser and refresh these, you'll find out that this is now not it's now kind of having a given size, because you can see everything is like not on the same line, not aligned as all these other components. So we're gonna keep on working on this to make sure it looks perfect. It's this. Alright, so I'm gonna jump back in my code editor and work on the next steps to make it look perfect. So to put it in the middle, the other one is GS, which is justify content center, and justify item center, which is centering items on the y-axis. So let's go back on our text editor and check right in the middle, right? And this also is right in the middle. Alright, so I'm gonna jump back in my code editor. I'm gonna give this image a height and width. I'm gonna give this 80, height of 34, and also a kind of border. But let's first of all see how it looks like in the browser, so we can jump on the next step. Okay, this is it, right? So let me just go back in my text editor and go to our landing page and make this a div. Give it a class and let's say BJ gray 900, and then mean age screen. Yeah, so now we can go back in our text editor and see how dark it is. So this is how it is, but it's not the full page. I wonder why, but let's work on it and make sure it's perfect. Okay, I'm gonna keep styling the image where I have a border of 2, border color which is orange, 500. Yeah, and it's rounded, I think rounded large. Okay, and this also to display them on the same line, or have the class, and we display them flakes and flakes, and justify corner center, justify content center, and align item center. So let's go back in our text editor in our browser, which is our Brave browser right here. So the image is already there. To make sure it is as identical as the default version, so what I'm gonna do first of all is giving a class, and then after giving it a class, what am I gonna do next is giving them a padding top of at least 5, and see back in our browser how it's going, giving us that's space on the top. Let's first of all work on this and see where we are going to reach, because I think this is less the padding which we given 5. Let's check it to turn and refresh this page. Okay, this is as good as the deployed version. Same padding. So next work is the icons. So back in our text editor and work on them. Come back and put the classes and then for the ending like the closing single quotes, which makes everything beautiful. No error. Jump back now a code editor and I'll give it a refresh. Pretty cool, right? Let's go back now to text editor. Give this a position. Where did you see? Okay, a position. I'm so sorry. It's the relative, just only relative. So I'm gonna work on the next, on the first icon, which cursor pointer. I a left for this, a bottom. I'm sorry, bottom of -5 to all of them, and go for the right of 6, maybe. Let me have on this the left of 6, right? Okay, everything is good. Let's go back and check what's going on right there. So let me refresh. Everything's good. This is what I wanted. So if we go back in the text editor and see what I added, it's simple. I just added this class. This class absolute. Every element with the same class will be on top of the other. So meaning the first icon will be on top of the second icon, will be on top of the first, the third one will be on the top of the second, and so on. So for this one, after putting these classes of bottom and left, separated them. So when you see on our browser, looks quite cute. So let's work on the toolbar on the text and then work on the toolbar. Let me go back now to text editor and show where we need to have a given here. Right over here, we need to have a margin bottom of 10 at least. And then if we go back in our text editor, it will show the difference. What am I going to do next is working on the text. Make them look similar to the deployed version or the done version. So let me work on them step by step. I'm gonna give them a default color to the all of them, which is the gray and stuff like that. So let me work. Let me is here class first of all text gray, which is I've given it to the all of it. So I'm gonna give you a flakes and then GS center and an IC center to center everything. So what else am I in need of? It's just styling these H1s, and to style them I just need to give them different sizes so that they all look different from each one. So we all know that these I am guardian devil will be bolded and then the other one will not gonna be bolded because it's a kind of rule. It's just gonna have a given size different from the first one. So I'm gonna start this first one, which is giving it a class name, and then give it a text size, which is 2XL, giving it a font of bold, and then give it a padding tab of 2, which text style will be applied for this, but will be an H will be a next one, or like 1x, which is XL. And then I think this will work out. So if I'm gonna jump back and display this flex call, yeah, this is how it looks like. Perfect, right? Back in our text editor and see what we gonna do. First of all, we're gonna give this a class flex call, giving it a color. Now we just justify the content center, which is JC on a line item center, which is IC, and then go ahead and start the H1, which is I am Gallian, and I'll give it a text size of 2XL. I'll bold it, and I'll separate it from the top. And again, I'm gonna go for the second H1. I'm gonna give it as a text size of XL. Yeah. Oh, let's go back on our way. In our browser and check how it looks like. Seems like it's perfect, right? Okay, so we're gonna have here class flex, and we're gonna have a margin tab of 10. I think 10 is gonna work. Okay, and we're gonna have a look. Let's change this 10 to a kind of 6. I think the 6 works. Okay, so let's work on the buttons. They'll have these. Let me give the same class to these. Jesus. Same class. Where I will have a margin-x of 2, which will separate them, padding of 2, and also a border. I'm gonna give it a border of 2 or something, and give it a color which is gray, 3000. Yeah, this is what I've been working on. I just gave to both of them these two padding on margin x, margin on the x axis, and padding on all axis, the border and also the border color. So what is am I going to work on? Let's say gray. This was gray 300. BG is going to be gray, as we know. 200. Kind of bright, but we always use to BJ 300. So will be BJ 300. 300 again, and give to E a text of gray 900. You just semibold to E, because semibold can work better. Just added these two. They hover the text color turns into the background color, and the background color turns into the text color. So this is how it is. Just these are the two, from the first hover to the last, which I capped to do the same one, because I'm using quite the same thing for them. So let's go and see if when we hover something can happen. Okay, I'm gonna go in these projects and hover Okay, we have in there. We have in look. We need the Google font to have the exact look as we have on this down version and also on the deployed version. Same Google fonts. So we'll use Poppins. Mm, how are we gonna use them in this next project? So we'll just have to go to Google Fonts, Google Font. It's a Google Fonts. Which is right there. Look for Poppins. Poppins, I think it will give you a kind of. When you look for Poppins, you'll find Poppins. He has 18 styles, so you will never have to worry about it. Italics one, just go and take the normal ones. You can select them, the thick, the thin, the extra lights, but not these ones because I said we don't need this italic style. We need the light too. We go for regular. We go for medium. Medium is we've already taken it. So, okay. These are this is the statements you need to import. We are in our Nextjs app, and let me show you where we are going to put it. So, back in our text editor again. And as you've already carved the statement in question, so where are we going to place it? So we are going to the safer place will be in our CSS folder, then CSS file. So we'll go into these styles and styles.css. Just here at the beginning, place the import statement, and then go back into our configure folder. And after getting in our configure folder, like Tailwind configure folder, which is here, like giving this a font family of, we open the braces, and then into there, what are we going to do next? We are going to give it a given name. Then after giving it a given name, for me I'll take global fonts, and then I'm gonna give the value into here. So I will go back on the text on the in our browser, check for the custom CSS given by in our hero, trying to use it globally. So let's give a font of global font. Okay, it's running successfully. Let's go and check the results in our browser. Yeah, it's there. This is this. Cool. What else are we gonna work on? We're going to work on the next component, which is just this about page. So let's start working on it. We'll jump back in our code editor as usual. A div container and two subdivs. The first one, first of all, has a title, which is about me, and then it has a div. This div has an image, and also another div that contains two paragraph 1 and paragraph 2. So I'm gonna grab these details over here that I put on there hero, which is the image, put it there, give it a class 2 and a width of full on small screens, height of full 2 small screens, and then medium screens and above will be have a width of 440 and also will be rounded large. So this class has a flex. First of all, we'll have a max width. Justify content center. Okay, let me go with the word justify center, and then items center. So if I'm gonna go the browser, let me give you it's auto right over here to check in our browser what's gonna be happening. Okay, it's centered and everything is centered. What are the two paragraphs? Let me grab my text from this one. This is the second, placed back in our text editor. Give to this there. Go to the first paragraph too. Give it to it. We'll have text of 2XL as well as font bold, as well as I think it's okay. Let's go back in our browser and check. Padding tab of 8, and then go back in our text editor and see, in our browser, and see this is how it is. So we need to be centered. For the color, we said this is gonna be a gray, so I'm gonna give to these two a class, same class, this and this. Color gray, sticks gray 400, and then text 2XL, and then what's going on, you see like this is really in order like this, but not yet the refresh. Okay, it's now refreshed, so go back in the text editor because this needs to be displayed. Okay, it's this first of all, which needs a flex, and then I'm gonna go back and check forward and say okay, we'll deal with it after. Let's go back in our browser. So I'm gonna jump back in my code editor one more time. Check for I'm gonna say let me give a class to this on the y-axis. Let me give you a 2 and go back in our text editor. Does it better. Justify content is center. Okay, let me take center it. As you can center itself. So if we go back and check again and refresh this page, it's now in the middle. The 3 cards will be just placed under this div. Okay, you'll have a div, and the div contains the class of flex, and flex call on small screens, and in the medium screen it has flex row, which is there. So and it also has the gap between the 3 cards of 2. So we'll have one card with H1, and the first H1 is the student, and then we have a +5, and then go back into the browser so you guys can see we have the 3 right there. So we need to separate them. Now back in our text editor, work on the 3 of them at the same time. So I'm gonna give this a background BJ is gray 600, which is a close. And again a padding at 10. And again give it a set on the medium view, which is 1 out of 3, and go ahead check it out. Anyways, this is how it looks right now. In our text editor, we are styling these H1s. This is students. So with the 3 of them, go back in the text browser. This is how they look like. But matter of fact, we need to go back in our text editor, and first of everything is changing this color. The color V is 8-1 added 3, so it should have something full on small screens, and then it should also be rounded. It should also have 800. So let's go back and check it out. If we try to refresh, okay, this is how what it gives. So one more thing missing is text center. Text center. Okay, and go back. See, okay, everything is I. So let me go back in the browser and we see. I'm gonna go back in the text editor, and what I'm gonna do is go into the about page. After going on this page, I'm gonna check everything and see where I've started everything. I'm gonna add text center. This is the results in our browser. So it's super cute, same as these. So let's go to the next part, which is the project part. We need to create this folder and put the portfolio file into it, and then create another one, and then also create one more. Okay, so let's create. Okay, and here. Okay, so I have these 3. So how am I going to be using them? So first of all, I need to implement some function, because we need to be filtering, and we need to have a tab that will help us filter the data. So I'm gonna walk you through the data file and see. This is the data file where we have the ID, category, title, image, tools, on content, stuff like that, and then link of repository, GitHub repository, so stuff like that. So first of all, in this one, we need to import data. Import data from, okay, it will be from data. And then one more thing we need to import is the use state. Okay, we'll use it, but let's map the data and get only all categories first of all, and we'll do it outside the function. So const all categories will be equal to, we'll have all, Jesus, we'll have all, and then we'll have the rest of the new. Let me write this statement and then explain it. Calls. Okay, the function here, when you map this array, this data, when you map the object, you will find the objects will give you opportunity to have access to each and every data that the object has, like the following that we have into here: category, title, image, tools, and such kind of stuff. So for us, we just only want to grab the categories. So we map through the object and then get the categories. And how are we going to like as if, for, let's take an example, we have two apps with the same category, web app. So how are we going to only take one web app for both applications? So we apply this new set will get rid of repetitive categories in the array, in the object that has been mapped. So, and we added this all. This all is as the default. So this all, it means this one, these all categories array will give us all as a default, and then the categories that have been mapped, those are the things that we'll get right here. So that's all for this statement. I think you know what it will give us. And then let's go for the next statement. So we'll have to create two use states right into here. The first one is portfolio data, the second one is categories. So right there I got mine, so I need to import it. Okay, already the use state is already imported, so make sure yours is all imported so you can just get into an error. So what else am I doing? So I will have to create functions like the filter function, and also the filter function is the necessary one, because after filtering the items, getting a given category, so it will give us the new array of data. It's like it will update the profile data. So I think thinking of it is a great option. So I'm gonna go with the filter, which is filter items, and we'll grab one category. So it will be const filter items, which will grab, a category, and that category will have a if statements. If category is equal to all, set portfolio data to data, right? And then return nothing. So I think for the first condition, if we click on all, it will just return all the data. And we need then to filter a new item depending on the category. We need to get new items depending on the category. And how we going to be doing that? So simple. We'll have to create another. This is another variable, concept variable, which is new items. New items, which is equal to data, the filter. Then we pass an item. And then say something like item dot category equals to category, and then set portfolio data to new items. Okay, the thing is, this function filter has a first condition. First of all, it has a parameter which is category. If you click on the category and you get all, so it will reset the data to the default, so you get all the array. So all the array of objects. If you're trying to filter, like I want to click on this specific category, like item.category, this might be website, web app, or portfolio, or e-commerce, things like that. So when you click on them and it's equal to the category passes the parameter, so you will just refactor this data, this portfolio data, to the new data. That's how it is. So where do we especially need the two of these functions, the two of these use state that we've created right up? We'll need them in our portfolio website, and this is where how you pass them as props. So when we go in our portfolio website, we will need to pass them again back as props as well. So I'm a copy them, pass them into as props. Okay, get these two as the next one, and get these two as the third one. So I have the three use states. So I have the three items passed as props, so I need to work with them. So let me first of all rename these. Okay. And also here something might be corrected in the landing page, and there on the import so we good to go. Portfolio, oh Jesus, this is not even portfolio. So I'm gonna grab that. Okay, okay, portfolio, 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 where portfolio here. So it's clear right now. So we can start working in the portfolio folder. So we have all of these props. So we are going to use them in our app. And as you know, or as you can see, uh, this is also considered as like the main tag that contains all subtags. Like if you have the heading, if we have sorry the tab menu, and we have the items, so all of them will be displayed here in the portfolio file. It means all of these files will be displayed into there, will be imported and then displayed, stuff like that. So let me say for this I need portfolio list, and portfolio menu. And for this I'll just need portfolio data to be passed as probes, and then I'm gonna need two of these, which I can grab from the landing page. The two of these here will be passed as props here. So let's start working now. Let's go for the list and start working. So in the list, you need to get these props and then start working with it, with all of them right here. So you will have first of all to create another use state, which will first of all select by default the all. So I'm gonna create mine real quick and see how it's gonna be acting. Okay, mine is right there. Let me import. It's imported right now. Okay, I think we all set to start the real actions on this. So we actually need a menu tab. So let's start styling it before we start everything. Styling will come later. So let's go for categories, and then we'll map it. After mapping, we'll have to get the item. After getting the item, we'll also get the index. So those are the two items gotten from there, and then we'll have to create a parameter, and the parameter in question will have a given, let's give it to a given class name that will help us like identify that this is the tab selected, which will give it a given style, like a background, like a different background to show that it's the active tab. So if selected, oh so sorry, I'm gonna have to, yeah, if selected equals to category, if selected equals to category, what are we going to do? We know that we had the category right over here from this, then it will be selected equals to item. Let me just name this category, and the other one category 2. this one. So if selected equals to category, what is the styling we're going to give to the selected icon? We're going to give it a given background, which is a BG orange, 500, and then PX03, PY01, and then rounded large, and cursor pointer, and then a given text size, which will be paste. And I hope I'm done. This can work better. So this should have an exclamation point. So cursor pointer will also be given to others first of all, and then what else could make a difference? So only the background will be different, and the text will be large. This text will be large, and we'll have all of these. So this is how it is for now. So we have styled it and put these. We have mapped the categories, and if the given categories the active one, we are giving it this styling. If not, it will stay with this default one. And then the things to work on next, applying this filter function. How are we going to apply? Simple. So we'll just go to this parameter. One thing we were missing first of all is passing this key to be equals to the index. Okay, and then the thing that we were missing, it was create the on click method. The on click method will only apply the functionality of filtered items. So what are we going to do right now is put here filter function, right into here. We need filter items. That will be passed here as a function, and the nodes will be out. And then how are we going to change the category? So let's put this into braces, and then have it down here, say filter items. I actually have it filter items, and then at the end of that we'll just call these select set selected to category. Okay, and we all know that in our function we need to have a given category passes the parameter which can be verified if it's C to be filtered and give it its own data. So hope this is super clear. Let's go check. Here's the thing. So what else are we going to work on? So in my SAM test editor, I will go back to check my portfolio list, check on everything. All of them deserve a gray color to the text. Let me give it globally gray. 200 and down. Yeah, it's good. Now let me show you. This is how it is right now. You can tap. Super cute. Okay, we will make it more beautiful later, but let's work on the next feature, which is the portfolio menu. Then after filtering, we need to have the menu. All right, so let's go. Okay, first of all, I need to pass this as a this portfolio data that I've passed as parameter from here. I need to pass it as a prop. That was the prop that I passed, so I need to get it from here so I can use the data that has been passed as prop. Generally, we'll have a class, and then this class will have the text that will be a gray, and this gray will be a 200, and as well as this one will be flex call, which has first of all a flex display flex, and then on the mobile, on the medium screens and top and above, we'll have this row right here. We'll have a gap of 2 to separate them. We'll have the margin top of 4. So this will be mapped. This data will be mapped. And then when we will be mapping this, we will need to have two things: the item. We need to have only the item and the ID. So first of all, we need an item. We need an item, so the ID will be passed as the one that we have as the ID in our data right over here, because I have a file called data and everything is in there. So what else am I gonna work on is actually getting the ID, getting the name, getting the content, getting the EMG, the image, getting the title. It's not actually the name, is the title, name, content. We don't have any link, GitHub, link it. So which is distracted from the item object, and then after there, I think we are good to go. So the thing we'll always get after this is a big return. I will place everything, and it will be a div. It will be a div, and this div will be styled. As we know, every card is styled. Let's give it a key, which is ID. Let's give it a border, which is 2, border color, which is orange, 5,500, and the padding, which is 1. Also, it will be a little bit rounded. Okay. We have an image which is structured already. The IMG. Here I can even put in the title. There's an alternative, and then style the image really quick. Is giving it a full width. Jesus. full. And then for for medium and plus, we'll have a 60 at the width, and we'll have H60. We'll have object cover. We have the object cover. We'll also have one more thing, which is the P till, which is the padding of the picture of the image. Now this is it anyways, and it's rounded as the whole card is rounded, so I think this will work out for the pic. So I think we may just go for the, let's go check it out first of all and see how it looks like, because we need to get a view of what we're doing. Oh, this is how they are actually bigger and stuff like that, so we need to make sure they are cool. So let's go back in our text editor and work on this. The title is actually an H1, and it will also be styled. We'll also have some, let's say, text, I don't know, text space, text XL, and you will also have fonts normal. It will also have capitalized, will be capitalized, so capitalize. So, and again we'll have a kind of padding. So what is the title right over here? We'll go for the next, which is the content, which is a paragraph, and its content. So let's style it, and then after styling, we'll see its width is first of all full. So it's also had 60 as width from the medium side and above, from the medium size and above. Okay, padding 2, padding X on X-axis is 2, padding bottom, because we need to specify something on the bottom of it. We need to have a little bit of space so that we can see the button, a little bit of margin between the button and the content. So that's how it is. And then we are going to give it a text. It's a text gray, read out 300, and then we are going to lowercase it, and then what else are we gonna do? Not lowercase e, but given to a font of thin, a div, and then we'll have one anchor tag, which will be leading to the link, because I actually put one link. It's link git for now, and I know we're going to have 2. So, and I know we're going to have some of the icons, like the play live bar icon will be needed for the for this first link, which is the play live, and the other one that will be needed will be the git link, the git icon for the second one, git. I don't know how to. Okay, this is how it is. We need to import them. React icon AI, React icon AI. Okay, they are imported right now. Let me go ahead and start this. So first of all, we're gonna have a flex, and the flex will be the flex which is be justify will be between, like give the space them, justify between. Okay, and after having that, we'll have a padding because we don't need them to touch the edges, and we'll have, yeah, this is okay now. I think this will work for them. This is good. This is actually what we needed. So the thing else that we're gonna need is styling these. The GitHub is now imported. Okay, it's now imported. Okay, let's start these icons because the same styling will be for both icons, and I will have to give them a color. It's white. I will have to give them a background. I'll have also to give them like a size. Yeah, size, which is text. I think 3XL can work. Padding 1, and they will be rounded full. Actually, this is what we needed for all of these. So let's go and check it out in our browser. This is cool, man. Okay, this is this. I'm so sorry. This is that then. So what else are we gonna work on? It's like, is this responsive? Check the responsive view, the responsiveness. I think it's now this is right? This is what we wanted. This is it, right? I think we're about to be done with it, so let's give it a title, because everywhere we have a title. So we need a title for this, right? The title will be placed in this same. So this is the title. It has 2XL is the size, the font size, and it's bordered, and padding top is 0, padding bottom is 2, to make sure it has the same space as the previous one. So we go back in the text editor and see, but it's blackish. I don't know why. So we should just give to this a given text gray of 300 or 200. I think 200 can work. Alright, 200. I've given to this a given 200 right here is the gray 200. So I make sure the title right over here is kind of white, and you understand. I think you get the concept. So this is what I needed. First of all, it's responsive. It's it can work, it's perfect. Okay, see we have front and back end skills. So that's the thing we're going to work on right now. So keep the same energy so we can do this perfectly. Alright, we are going to go back in our text editor and start working. So we all know that this should have a given div, and the div should be comprised of a div, and that div too should be comprised of the other div. And then this first div could be just styled first of all, because we ain't gonna take too longer to do this, and this is max. which is 2xl, 3xl, and the padding of 2, and max, like margin of the x axis of auto. Oh, Jesus, auto, and the flex call on this axis, flex call right now, like on the mobile, on the small screen, and it's just like this, and on the bigger screen is on medium, which is flex roll. And then we need to deal with the text. The text itself, it's a gray to honey, and then the background is a kind of 800, gray 800, background gray 800, and then we'll find the kind of we'll just have to space it from the top, because we need to have that kind of space from the top, the content from the top, and it's always rounded. So let's go back in our, let's go and work first of all on the next component. We ain't got to take too long to do this. So okay, as we know, the first one needs to have a given it needs to be a given div, so it will also have a width, a class, because there are two. So on the smallest screen that will be like this, but on the medium there will be width like 1.5, and then they will also have some background, some bj gray of, I don't know, 900 and 100, and the padding of 4. So we have something in them that will be like displayed center, because we don't want them to be displayed in disorder. So it will be flex column and gc just t file content should just very center, and items center. Okay, we good for that. We good to go. What else do we need from these? It's just only to round them, because everything is rounded on my website. When it comes to card, they're always rounded. So this is done right over here. So what we are going to deal with right now is dealing with the text, right? We have a text which is an h2 and needs to be styled to old tag to Excel, and it will also take the font, which is a semi-bold, semi-bold tab, and padding from the bottom, let's give you a 4, and say this is the front end, front end. So let's go look, let's duplicate these first of all and replace by the second div. So this is backend, then we just need to say backend. So I will map this. I will get something like an item and ID. Jesus, an item and an ID. So Let's see. I'm misspelling things. Item and ID. Okay. So after having an item and an ID, I'll have to display a div. I'll have to create a Jesus Christ. I'm gonna give it a width because each icon will have a width, and this will be 1 out of 4. So it'll be a quarter, and this is flex column, and item center, and also jeez, just 500 cents. It's taking too long. Just justify center, justify center. Okay, and life goes on. So this is the styling that we need first for the container. So we're going to do then. We're going now to grab these, because this first of all should be upper, because after having the text we need to have a kind of div that is comprised of all of these. So we'll need to have these distraction, this mapping in here then. So this is where we have it, and what do we need in between of it? So we need a div then. This is a div class, and also has the key, which is equals to the ID. Oh yeah. Okay, it's safe now. And then we'll need an image, which is the item image. We'll also need something like a name, item.name. Okay, and the same will be needed for the paragraph. Okay, this is good then. I think it displays perfectly. So let me walk you through the little of things that I've changed to make it functional and function well. So after creating this, I was putting here a point. I was having a problem inside here where I've been mapping through, and I have a div which was uncompleted, a div which was broken, and so now I just refactored and everything looks great. Pay attention when you are writing your code. Also check out and matter of fact, this repository will be available for you on GitHub, so and the link will be down in the description, so you feel free whenever you're stuck, go check out the code, because I'm actually refactoring something and sometimes it's on off screen. So I'll open up again VS Code and go in my contact so we can start working. Oh Jesus, I've already done this. Okay, let me then explain. So this is, I've given to E a margin. on the x-axis, which is auto flex, and the maximum width. I've justified center, item center. I've given to E a padding top of 5, which we didn't see on this. So let's go back and see. Okay, let's go back in our text editor and work on this. So we'll have the form action not anywhere for the moment. We'll have a div, And the first div will have two inputs, and the second one will be just a div with one input, and the third one will be just a text area of 20 columns, 3 rows, and a placeholder which is your message. And here we have one, just one. I think for the first one we just have a placeholder of your name. The second placeholder is your email. Okay. And the third one is your subject. Okay, there we go. So we need to style this. First of all, we're going to start the form itself. The width of full, flex column, flex column, justify item center, and item center. So let's start this. It has a flex column on small devices, and a medium size will have flex row. Okay, so give it the width of full, and we know the background is inherited because we just want to use inherit, because we just want to use the same dark background. We have a border, we have the padding of 2, and it's rounded. So this is how it is, rounded. It should be given to this, and this. So let's go check out the browser so we see where we can correct, right? Hey, this is it. So we are going to use Nextjs. To implement this, to allow the user or the communicator to communicate to you, and the message will be always being sent to your email account. So what you need to do, first of all, you need to create an account on Nextjs, and then after there you just need to go and install this package and go through the notes, because they explain how it is implemented. So feel free to go through the notes. As you are done installing and you have already your account, what can we do? First of all, okay, we will need to go to oh, so sorry, I have already logged in my account. So this is it. We will need to, it will first of all brings you here, email services. So you need to go to, you need to add a new service if you want to use Gmail or Yahoo or something else. So it's all up to you, but for me, I want to use Gmail. That's why I've created one, so you can still create. A lot of opportunity, a lot of personal services are here, so you can choose the one you want. But I think the most common and the most used is this one, is the Gmail. So that's why I took it and I created mine, so it gave me this ID. Okay, so I also went on my account and I found out that I have a public key and I also have this private key. So how am I gonna use this? So simple. I'm gonna go back in my text editor and show you what I can. But before I go right there, let me show you the templates that we're gonna be using. It's the second one. So this is the template we're gonna be using. So when the user sends you, when they communicated, someone wants to talk you or send you a message, you will have this email setting the mail from the user who sent a message. His name will be here. Okay, you got a message from who, the name of the one who sent a message, and then the message will be here. And then this is like how it's gonna be appearing. So let me save and go to this and go back in our text editor so I can show you how to do this. So to implement this is quite simple, and it's not even time consuming. It can just take you a little bit of time and you get done with it. So you'll need first of all to install, not to import, use ref. So for me, I'm not just gonna do a lot of things. I'll just go here and say const form, const form, which will be called to use ref. Okay, which is here. And then what else am I gonna need? Anyways, after sending the message, I'll need to put a notification, the toast, but I'm not gonna show you it later. So let's create a function to send a message, because we will need this. And depending on this explanation right over here on the email JS no package manager, so you need this, the user, the password, and So how can you implement this? Because you need to get a message, you need to get everything from him. So you will just go back in our text editor and implement the things. The implementation of the things will be really easy. So right here I'll have to create a function which is send email, and the function will actually use the following things. To send email, you need service ID, template ID, and then the private key that you have. So you own all of that. So what you're gonna do, you just write email.js email.js, which needs to be imported. Okay, but this needs to be imported from images, I think. Yeah, images, from images. Then I'll need the email. I don't need even these braces. I'll just have the email dot send email, and then I'll pass my service ID. I'll just go right here on my browser. I'll just go on my browser and check for my images, templates, something, service ID, which is this one over here, is the one that I'm gonna put there. So go back in, and then I get my user ID, my template ID. I've shown you how to get them. So, and then right over here in my message, I'll put them, but I'm not gonna put my thing, like my ID, because it's private. Do not even think of me putting it there. So you just go in your accounts right over here on the website, go to the account, get your public ID here, make it visible, grab it, copy, and then come back here in the text editor and then put it there. So when it's there, that's the missing thing. When it's there, everything is fine. So we are going to check if the message was sent. If it was sent, we will cancel out the test. If it wasn't sent, we will just notify or send an error or cancel log an error. So simple. We'll just go to the next line and then the result. Jesus. Okay. Then we'll have result, which is equal to then result, and then we'll open this and log result dot text, or I think that's okay, but for the error that we're gonna do is the same thing. So I'll have first of all to go to the form. That's why the use of this form use ref will come into the deal. So I'll have to put a form ref right there, which will help me grab the information. So they'll grab the information of each and everything is mentioned in the templates right over there. So from the username, I just know if I go back to the templates number 2, the username is username, the message is message. You understand this pretty clear. So let's go back in our VS Code and get down with it. So this is where it's taken. Come and put it here. Right here, I have it already, and here I have the name, I have the message, I have the subject, I have everything. I'm good to go. So I'm gonna install the toast. So first of all, I'm gonna go up here, right here, and import 2 things from Toastify, React Toastify, which is the toast container, and the toast container. So sorry, toast container and toast. From React Toastify. Okay, both of these, just like that. So this is what we are exporting from React Toastify, and then we are going to use them to create a notification. For a successful notification, we just have to use the function notify. Like we create the function notify. So the function notify will help us send a message, pass a message. So in our case, where are we going to place this? This should be just on top of these. Okay. So, and let me explain. Now, notify function, use this toast imported right over here. And if the message is successful, you use the successful method to send the toast message, which is passed through. And then these are the properties. Where do you want your toast to be placed? I want it to be placed on the bottom, center, and auto close after 3 seconds. So how is this gonna be appearing? So I want it to be appearing, and what's the template of it? How is it gonna appear in your body? So I need to pass. That's where this dust container comes into the show. It's coming into the show that way because we will have to pass it down here in our div. Yeah, he has a great work. And this after sending a message. If I'm gonna send you a message, let me go back to the website and show you what's happened when I wanna send a message or when the message is sent. I think everything is okay right now. So let's go back and check it out. Yeah, everything is good. This is good. So let me send the messages. I'll go put my details and say hello there. Yeah, the message is going successful. So everything is okay. One thing missing is on the responsiveness. But now we are going to work on the button navigation. So if you might go on this deployed version and check out is it responsive, and find out it has this button navigation working critical. So how are we gonna do ours? Just right now in a second. So go back in your text editor, create your dots, your nav menu in the components too. Put it there, and then go ahead and display. We'll display in the landing page nav menu. Okay, so we can go back and see how it looks like, because I had just something now really pretty cool, like pretty, but something great. In our nav menu, we just have the div container, and in the div container we have this unordered list, and where we have a list item, and we have to have 5 list items for the home, for the user, for the user, for about me, the briefcase for projects, the book for skills, and the message for contact. That's how they have to be. So I need to start them. So what am I going to do? First of all, I need to import these icons. Okay. Okay. Jesus. So let me just multiply this line and work on the next. This is from BI. Okay. I'm gonna work on the next, which is the briefcase from BS and bookers from BI. So briefcase from BS, and the other one is the book art from BI. So everything is now perfect. This is how it is right now. So what else are we gonna work on? First of all, let's make it visible for the purpose of development and see how it's gonna be appearing. Okay. Let's see it too as we are developing it. It's right there on the bottom. Let's develop it and make it be it. So go back in the text editor, and what we're going to work on now is making it fixed and at the bottom. First of all, I said it's going to be fixed. The bottom, from the bottom, is going to have the forward, and flakes items will be displayed flakes. And then what else are we gonna have? It's gonna be rounded full. So after that, justify between, and then also item center, and it's rounded already. So let's go see. Okay, let me give it background BJ orange 500, BG orange 500. So I think after refreshing, oh, this is how it looks like actually. So it's time to work on it properly. I think it's really time to work on it properly. So in our code editor, let's give it a padding of 1. Okay, so what else do we need? This can be applied to all the possible icons. So let me just copy the class, copy the content of the class, the values, and put it there, put it there, put it there, and there too. Let's go see of these on the mobile view. Yeah, I can navigate without scrolling, which is good. Alright, that's good, and it's responsive too, as you can see here. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for joining me into this build, and I hope now you are able to have your portfolio and you are having it, because this has been a great experience so far. And I hope you learned some tricks from this tutorial. Keep your eyes on this YouTube channel, and you'll go ahead, share this tutorial with your friend out there so that I can get this same energy to come up with something better. If you have any suggestion that you want me to work on, put in the description below on the just comment it. I'll go through the comments and read what's your suggestion, guys, and why I should improve, and why you guys are the most needed in my career so that I can keep this on. So your choice is my work. I'm gonna work on what you guys want, what you guys really like, because you guys are my community. I like you, and sayonara. See you in the next video.